Hi, I'm Andra. I'm an engineering manager at Medic, and today I'm going to talk about technology radars. But before I get into the topic, I'm going to share a bit of context about Medic and why this topic is so close to my heart. Medic is a global team of about 100 people that has been focused on empowering community health workers for the last decade. We are the technical steward and the main contributor of the Community Health Toolkit, which is a set of open source digital tools built for community health workers. I joined Medic 1.5 years ago, more or less, and while onboarding and getting up to speed with the technologies we were building and the technologies we were using, there's this question that kind of followed me for a while. Why? Why do we use Clickfolio and Superset and Grafana? Why not use Metabase, which in my opinion would have been such a better tool? Why are we migrating to Golang? No, just kidding, this is Bruce's problem. Raise your hand if you questioned a technology choice during your first week in an organization. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, naturally, it's what technology professionals do. And of course, there's always, or most of the time, a good reason on the choice. But for example, at Medic, we were moving away from Clickfolio and migrating to Superset. Grafana was used for a completely different setup than I thought, and Metabase has been considered at some point in the future. But there was little or no written record of those technology choices. So then my question became, how? How to easily grasp a dense technology landscape and understand the why of certain technology decisions. How to document those decisions in a centralized and open place. But how about when the team is a community of contributors, implementers, and enthusiasts? Those are quite tough questions to answer, but luckily there's a fantastic tool out there to address exactly these challenges. Yes, you guessed, the technology radar. So, by the way, I'm going to use the technology radar's words a lot today, so bear with me. The technology radar provides an easy-to-grasp visual representation of techniques, tools, languages, frameworks used to build a product. It can contain their pros, their cons, lessons learned, together with their degree of adoption. This is a screenshot of our technology radar for contributors. The degrees of adoption are basically guidelines on whether to use or not to use a certain technology. We use adopt, trial, assess, and stop degrees of adoption. And it can answer questions such as which framework to use for user interface testing. What's the best suited data analytics tools for the needs of the community? What are the tools we have considered in the past and decided not to use anymore? And most importantly, why? So how did we decide to use a tech radar in the first place? And what did it take us to build such a tool? The discussion started a year ago, more or less, and the first step was to get leadership buy-in. Together with the leadership team, we decided that something needed to happen. We needed to document technology decisions. And that was really the key to the success of the initiative. So great, we had decided that we needed to document the decisions, but how to retroactively document everything that's out there? Where should that documentation live? We have our public documentation for the open source tools we are building, but we were really wondering how to organize this technology choices documentation in an easy to grasp way. How can we make it clear which technologies are deprecated versus in spike stage? So my manager suggested, why don't we use something similar to the tech radar from ThoughtWorks? And everyone loved the idea because it seemed to match exactly our needs. No, teams are busy, and starting a tool from scratch, like a tech radar, can be really time-consuming. What people love the most about the tech radar is that there are a lot of open source available tools out there that you can use to build your own technology radar. And it really felt like a relief. It felt like we could focus more on the content and not on how are we going to show all that information. We trialed several tech radars tools, and we finally decided to use and customize the AOE technology radar. And the screenshots that you've seen a bit earlier are by using this tool.
Yeah.
I loved it a bit earlier. Kat talked about human-centered technology development. This is what we do also at Medic. We keep human-centered design at the core of everything we do, and building technology radars was no exception. So in this case, we determined that we needed 2 technology radars, right? And each one of them was designed specifically for the needs of the technologies using it. So we built one for contributors, for people who are actually contributing to the development of the open source tools, and one for the implementers, for the community people who are actually customizing what we build and adding other apps and stuff on top of them. So great. At this point, we have 2 versions of tech radars. They are live. But the most important part, the most challenging part, and also my favorite part, was actually building a culture of documenting technology choices. How can we empower the team and the community to contribute? Being public and open helps. We use version control and public repos on GitHub to track all the conversations. Anyone can start a discussion about a technology, and we encourage everyone to do so. One of the engineers I work closely with said something this day that's really stuck with me. They said that it's like a decision point when you open a PR to that repo. It's like, you know it's real, you know it's decided, it goes to the radar, and I really love that. And lastly, it's really important to look for innovation and new technologies and occasionally question established methods and tools. And I want to say innovation is not about like not using boring tech, but more like having a look at what's out there and trial new things. We plan to review the technology radars every 6 months, more or less. And again, if changes are made, always crucial to document the why behind the changes. Okay, so I went through all this, but is it all worth the effort? Well, definitely. And what did we find out? Well, first, technology conversations bring people together to do what they love the most. Learn, try new tools, try new languages, sharing opinions about them, and building innovative tools. It's an amazing learning tool for people starting a new role, and also a good tool for hiring. For example, candidates can take a look at our tech stack and all the tools that we are using before considering a role with us. Again, brings a transparent alignment on the why. And one area that I really found surprising is that it helped identify gaps in our tech stack coverage skills from the team, meaning that we noticed that we had Kubernetes as a technology to adopt, and then we realized that there were a lot of engineers who were not comfortable with using Kubernetes. So that gave opportunities for professional development and training in the team. And also to stay relevant, it's very important to review the technology radar occasionally. And this helps identifying strengths and vulnerabilities, what a complicated word, and tools that need upgrading, reviewing, replacing, and question established methods. Okay, so did it solve the challenges? Partially, but here are some lessons that we learned on the way. First, building a tech radar is straightforward. There are amazing open source out there that you can use out of the box to build your own. But however, building a culture of documenting technology decisions, it takes time. You need to be really intentional about keeping the radar up to date to really worth the effort of having this tool. Encourage technology conversations to happen regularly and openly, and document the why of every technology choice. And most importantly, be patient and consistent. Don't expect people to contribute overnight. As you are going back to your team, I would like you to reflect on the following question. How easy is it for new contributors to track technology decisions in your organization or community? And you can send me an email with your story. I would love to read it. Thank you.